Hello, my fellow gargoyles. Welcome back to some more, I guess me rating games in a tier list. This time it's The Legend of Zelda. Oh, I'm gonna feel some pressure doing this one. I can feel it already. But yeah, these are my takes on how I feel about certain Zelda games, and of course, I'm gonna always put played but never beaten and never played on this list because I feel like if I played a game, I believe it's not fair to judge it unless I know for 100% fact I am never gonna play it ever again. So that way I can just tier list it. So yeah, I thought there was more Zelda games in this, but I'm pretty sure there might be if I remember them. But overall, let's just get into it. So let's have some fun. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some hell of a lot of comments to judge me about something. Anyway, let's move on to the very first one, The Legend of Zelda from the NES. Wow, the thing that started it all. Overall, this to me is an A tier. I love the exploration. I love collecting items. I love the idea of going through the worlds, getting to see the dungeons, seeing the levels like, yep, not going in there. The items were great. Getting the hearts was fun. Dealing with the dungeons back then was just like brutal. But overall, it's still fair. It was still a fair game to play. It was just a great time. I still play Legend of Zelda, the NES, from time to time whenever I feel like having a Zelda game, and that was my go-to. It's an A rank for me. I enjoy the crap out of it. So overall, great game. Next up is The Legend of Zelda 2. Okay, I have played but never beaten this game. The furthest I ever got to was beating the second dungeon. It's because it's so different. I do plan on playing this again. I don't know if I want to freaking record it as a series, but at some time, this is the game I do want to beat. Because I know for a fact when you get to freaking Dark Link, you got this in the bag. You got it. So that's all I can say about that one. Played, but never beaten. It's different. That's all I can say. Alright, next up we got The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Yeah, it's another one that I played but never beaten. Oh, yeah, the furthest I ever got was probably trying to get to the first dungeon after I got the Master Sword. Yeah, that one I was just confused, and I never took the time to come back and, played it. Never took the time to play it again. So, yeah, can't judge it. Overall, what I think of it, I think it's a great game, but I'm not going to judge it fairly if I never beaten the game. So, right now it just stays the played, but never beaten. Alright, next up, time-wise, I'm trying to think. I think it is I want to say Zelda Deluxe. Now, here's the thing. I can't really... the problem is I can't judge the Game Boy Color because I never played the Game Boy Color. But I played the remake of it. So, can you really judge that fairly, to be honest? Not really. Yeah, let me see if I had it still. Okay, so I don't have the picture. I thought I still did, but I could have been... I guess I'm wrong. So for the Game Boy Color, I've never played, so I'm just going to put it there. But for the remake, I think it was fun. I was very concerned about the art style and still wasn't okay with it. I would put it in B tier. I think that's where it would belong for me. B tier for the remake of it. There's no picture here. It doesn't look like it unless I'm being blind and stupid. No, it's not there. So it would go to B for me. Next up, I guess would be the Oracle of Ages and Seasons. I played but never beaten both of these games. I just never had the chance. Well, because these were both of my father's games. I have never gotten the chance to beat them because the dungeons were kind of challenging, but just never got a chance to beat them. And it's something I want to do as well for both of them, which I want to do for sure and have like two of my voices do one of them, not just me, because I'm doing Twilight Princess right now. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Game Boy Advance, I think this is... Okay, the Four Swords. Never played this game. I think you guys are seeing a pattern right now. I'm a Zelda fan, but we have a problem right now. Oh, dear. I it's just one of those games I never played. It's just one of those games. Speaking of one of those games, Zelda, the Minish Cap, this one's going to never play but never beaten. Yeah. Yeah. How can you call yourself a Zelda fan if you've never played and beaten these things? I know. I know. Yeah. Alright, next up we have the Wind Waker. Okay. Wind Waker. I wish I could judge both of these. The freaking original and the remake. Because the original, I'm putting it B tier. It's still a great game. I do like some of the music style. The music and the art style is kind of weird. But I love the expressions that fucking Link does. It's just hilarious. But the remake makes it better. That one will go to A. But yeah, so the GameCube goes to B. The remake for the Wii U is A tier. Just because they definitely added the sail that makes you go faster. That was my main problem with that, the original, is because it's so slow. And of course the dungeons is also a problem. And all that stuff. And I just realized now I'm being stupid because I'm trying to go in order and I completely ignored the freaking N64s. Oops. Maybe because I'm doing it on purpose. Yeah. Next up, we will do... I guess this is the Four Swords again? This is, again, another one I have never played for the GameCube. I'm just... Yeah, there's so many Zelda games I've never played. Now I think about it. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so next up, let's just get these out of the way. Freaking, after Wind Waker, it's freaking sequels. I think Spirit Tracks and then the Phantom Hourglass is next. These are also never played. I don't care. Like, the art style for Link was just not my kind of thing. But Wind Waker, I did enjoy it, but I just didn't want to play the sequels. Especially on a DS. I always thought that was just interesting to play it on a handheld, even though you do have, like, the other handheld games, which are, I guess, much better than those. I don't know. Never played it, so I can't really judge it. Speaking of a handheld, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds is another one I have never played, but I do have it. And one of these days, if I were to take the time to actually play the games, Oh, God. Yeah, y'all see a pattern here? I mean, I'm looking at my tier list and realize, like, oh my God, there's so many games I've never fucking played and beaten. That's okay, we got one more to add to that list. It is freaking Skyward Sword. Never played, because when I saw this game and see how the whole Wii motion thing and how Link looked, I was not feeling it. I did not like how he looked at all. Didn't like the whole Loftwing thing. I don't know. It's something about that game just like rubs me off the wrong way. And of course, there is also the remake for the Switch. And I don't know. I mean, one of these days, maybe I'll give it a shot. But this is like one of those Zelda games I'm like, I don't want to touch this game. It is. It's sad because I fucking love Zelda, but it's just how it is. Alright. Now, the rest of these games I have played. I have played and beaten. I have played and beaten these games. Up next, we have the Triforce Heroes. Okay, Triforce Heroes was a very interesting game. Let me put this back down. All I can say is, if I had to play this by myself, this would be the lowest rank. It would be a C. But I was fortunate enough to have, you know, us three, my brothers, me and my two brothers, all having the same game on Christmas Day because my father got me and my two brothers this game because I guess he knew that you can play with two other people, do links, and that's what he did. He got all three of us the same game. He bought it 3 times, for God's sakes, on Christmas Day, and we played it. We played it, and we beat it together. That's my thing. If you have pals or, you know, lucky for me, your brothers to play with, this game was fun. Even though it was kind of hard to freaking command my 2 young brothers to, like, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. And the best thing about it, too, our favorite colors match these characters here. Mine was green. I think Sean was blue, and my brother Brendan was red. Yeah, it just matched perfectly because I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna fight over these freaking like which Link color are we? I'm like, oh my god, we all like the same different colors. Yes, but overall, this game was great for me. It's definitely better than Wind Waker for sure. So if it was by itself, I had to do this alone. Yeah, it would gone to C. It would have gone to C, and I would probably never touch it again. I mean, I'm not touching it ever again because I already beaten it, collected everything. It was just a good time to play with my siblings. So, all right, on to Breath of the Wild. Damn, Breath of the Wild. I, yeah, the first open world Zelda game. I'm not gonna lie, I can't hide this. This was S rank. It was just a fun game, exploring the world, seeing monsters in the distance, the dragons flying around. Of course, Ganon freaking like going around the place. The blights. Jesus Christ, the world was amazing. Yeah, and of course, crafting like the foods and whatnot. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, it's just such a great game. Such a great game. Sadly, it was just the music was lacking. I think that was my only issue with it. But overall, love the game, beating it. On to Tears of the Kingdom next. Played but never beaten. And the worst thing is, I'm close. I'm freaking close to beating the game, okay? I just explore too much. This one is definitely better than Breath of the Wild. In my take, because of fusing the weapons, the powers you can use is a whole lot better than Breath of the Wild to me. I know some people are saying Breath of the Wild is still better than Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, no. The Tears of the Kingdom has more story. Now you're up in the air, you're going underground. The costumes, yeah, it's just a lot better. But I need to beat the game before I can actually give this a rating. For me, it's definitely better than Breath of the Wild. It belongs in S once I've beaten it. All right, now the three big ones I have to judge. Let me get Majora's Mask out of the way. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I put in this fucker in C. I don't look. It's dark. I get it. There's some good things about this game. My problem is, it's just like it has issues. The time management. The best thing. The best thing I can actually tell you guys is like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? In the description below, I am gonna put the link to. Now, crap. The Angry Video Game Nerd when he did his review on freaking Majora's Mask. Everything he says is mostly the same thing I felt about this game. It's so freaking true. Like, I wish I could say it better than him, but what he said is just like, this is why I don't really care much about Majora's Mask. It's just like, there are some good things about it. I mean, the songs are still catchy. Some of the masks are useful. Obviously, the four masks, the Deku, the Goron, the Zora, and the Fierce Deity Link. Of course, the bomb mask, you could just hide behind the shield, press B, and it explodes without you taking damage. It's still fun. It's just not S-rank material. I don't understand why there are a lot of Majora's Mask fans out there that says this is better than Ocarina of Time, which I refuse to believe. Because no. Just no. It doesn't belong with Ocarina of Time. I'm sorry. You can burn me at the stake. I don't care. Alright, next up we got Twilight Princess. The one I'm currently doing right now is a series. I am putting this in S rank. I love the hell out of this game. The freaking... To me, right now, this Link, to me, is more badass than the other Links that ever came before. Even, like, don't get me wrong, Tears of the Kingdom Link or Breath of the Wild Link, I think is second place to me how badass they look and what they can do. But Twilight Princess to me is the most badass one of them all. Not only does he learn all these different skills, how to fight, and that's the thing, Wind Waker has an edge over the other ones too. For a bit, because he still learns certain things, like the friggin', like rolling behind and slashing behind. But for Twilight Princess, they took it further. The Mortal Draw, the Shield Attack, the Helm Splitter, the Greater Spin, this Rolling Spin Attack, the Finishing Blow, and like they give that so much depth. And of course, the weapons are cool. The wolf thing is interesting. I wish they did a little bit more on that. Don't get me wrong, it still has issues. But for me, this is my favorite game of all time. And of course, me saying that now, we got Ocarina of Time. To me, Ocarina of Time is S rank still, but I cannot put it in front of Twilight Princess. I can't. I know a certain person that loves Ocarina of Time more than Twilight Princess, and that's okay. I'm like, I understand, like, this was obviously the first Zelda game I ever played as well. The freaking nostalgia is what kicks in. It's just like the world, the music, the bosses. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some great bosses and music, and there's certain things I like in Ocarina more than Twilight Princess. And I think I don't know when I'm going to put this episode up, but I can only say this, like, when it came to getting the Master Sword, Ocarina of Time did it better than Twilight Princess, for sure. It's because they build up this sword so much, and then how you get it is so much better. Once you're a young Link, you pull that pedestal out, you're sent it to time. 7 years in the future, realize you were just this grown adult. Twilight Princess, like, you literally got out of your wolf form and just pulled the sword out. I mean, you had to go to the Sacred Grove and deal with Skull Kid, but it was not really that epic to me. I mean, it's still cool, but Ocarina of Time has certain things that are better than Twilight Princess. But overall, for me, Twilight Princess is my favorite game of all time. So there you go. There is my tier list, and yeah, I'm now looking at this, I feel. Ooh, yeah. I got some Zelda games I need to actually play and beat, huh? But overall, hopefully you guys, enjoyed me explaining my takes on Zelda games. And I'm pretty sure some of you is probably like, no, you're wrong, and that's okay. It's just my opinion on certain Zelda games I like better than others. Yeah, and of course, I would like to know how you guys feel about it. And of course, maybe one of these days I'll try the ones that I've never played and see how they will end up. Who knows? Maybe one of them will be better than Twilight Princess. I doubt it, but you never know. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If you like this episode of the tier list of Zelda, Legend of Zelda, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and also ring that notification bell to be notified what I do on this channel. Until then, my fellow gargoyles, see you guys next time.